Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Kicks at the Castle, where three Disney-loving sneakerheads talk about the two industries that occupy so much of our time and disposable income. We don't go to Disney every day, but when we do, we always bring the heat. My name is John. You might know me on Instagram as Weekends with Walt, and I'm joined by the rest of the Kicks at the Castle team. Main Street Dad, but here he's Irv.
Yo, what's going on?
And we've also got the Disney hype beast, Matt.
Good, everybody.
We got a great show planned for you. We've got our feature of the week. Then we'll have a world versus land showdown on the reservation systems. Then we'll talk about Disney trips, Disney merch. And at the end, we'll get into our Disney style. But let's get it started off with our pickups. Matt, what do you got this week?
Today, actually, I picked up the Air Jordan 1 Khalifas. They're a woman's shoe, so obviously they're not for me. I actually just got them for a little money in my pocket.
I don't know, man. What size you wear? You might be able to get those on.
I got them in a women's 8. Funny is I'm a men's 8 or 8.5, or Jordan 1s I'm an 8.5. But honestly, if I got them in my size, I don't think I could pull it off because with all the silk and it's like kind of like not poofy, but there's like a whole bunch of room at the top.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't pull it off. It's not really my thing, but I got those, and that's pretty much.
Did you try for LeBrons today too?
I did try for LeBrons. I did not get them.
Yeah.
It was actually my first draw that I got, or that I've actually won off the sneakers app.
That's nice. Cool. Yeah. Draws seem to be harder. I don't know. Did you go for the slides?
Of course. I went for all three, obviously. First was obviously on Yeezy Supply, and then I didn't think they were going to drop on Adidas, but they did, and they actually dropped on Foot Sites too. It was kind of like a shock drop, yeah, on Foot Sites. It was at like 7 a.m. So that was like 4 a.m. West Coast time.
Yeah, I jumped in on the Raffles for the slides today. I went 0 for 3 as well.
They're restocking every 2 months, so.
Oh, they are?
One day we'll get, yeah. That's the rumor. I mean, it's not confirmed, but that's the rumor that they're going to be restocking every 2 months.
I'll keep after it. Like I said, if I could get lucky with the pair, I'd get one for my son maybe.
Yeah.
But, it's I go for everything because I figure it's a numbers game. You hit something eventually, right?
It's honestly what people don't know is that all these websites and apps, I'm telling you guys a secret right now, they have an algorithm. So buy, click that notification button on everything, because and it's no risk. I mean, just if you buy it and if you don't like it or it doesn't resell, you just go return it. No risk.
Yeah, I have to try that, man. I really do not. I really only shoot for stuff that I really want, and I probably am lowering my chances of getting the items that I want by not, you know what I mean, just kind of.
Yeah, honestly, just go for those brick items, and yeah, if it bricks, sell it to someone for retail or just return it.
Yeah.
Because I've had a few shoes I got from Sneakers app that I thought was going to be like sellable, but they ended up bricking and I couldn't sell them, so just went ahead and returned them.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Have you get anything this week?
I did not, but you know what? I just remembered that the LeBron 95s came out today.
Yep.
So I will probably end up paying more money than I should for those.
You're getting on StockX right now?
Oh man, yeah, I'll probably put it.
What are they? Let's see what they're going for right now.
Yeah, let's see.
We're gonna have a live cop on the first show.
That'll be a fun episode. Honestly.
Oh man.
Film like on a Saturday at like 10 a.m.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll go live and
a live cop show.
You can watch us smash our head against the computer screen.
Oh man.
All right. Well, when you're looking at that, my only pickup this week is I got a couple of the Supreme summer tees. One for me. I picked up one for my son. So that's something. I got a shoe pickup in transit, so I'll wait until it gets here before I drop that. But this is my first eBay purchase, or at least for sneakers. Just
eBay is taking over. I'm telling you, like
I don't like it that much so far because like I don't, like the information. I don't know. That first of all, the guy who I bought it from, he didn't ship it for 5 days.
Oh, scary.
Was there authenticity guarantee?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
authenticated and it's en route to me. So
I guess as a seller, it's great because there's no fees and obviously the free authentication process, and obviously you get paid faster. I mean, for me as a reseller, it's eBay is I choose eBay over StockX and go any day. But yeah, let me know how the package is, because I'm very curious on how they repackage everything. Because
okay, I'll take some
I've been
pictures of it.
putting. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I put like goodies in mine. Like I always put in like my business card stickers, and I always put in like a Crep Protect wipe in every order. So I don't know if they like take all that stuff out and just give them the shoes, because I've been wondering, because
No,
they
definitely.
haven't really.
I'll let you know how it goes. Like I said, I was kind of waiting until the deal's done before I talk about it. But it was my first one. I've sold some used shoes, but nothing new that was to the dollar amount where it had to be authenticated.
Can't wait to see what you got.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, looking forward to it. So, what else are you guys looking at this week? Anybody going to go for the University Force?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I am now. I mean, like I'm not really much of a Jordan guy, but I need to start playing the numbers game.
One thing I'll say too is, or another tip, if you know that you're going to resell, do not get your size, because you will be tempted to keep. There's so many times like Supreme items or shoes or like anything. Like if I like randomly just get my size and I get it, I'm just like, dang, this is kind of hot. I think I'm gonna have to keep this.
That's funny. All right, man. So do you want to move into the feature of the week?
Sure.
All right.
Is that me?
That's you, man. Tell them about it.
All right. So feature of the week. This week we got. Funny thing is, we don't have anything because we don't have a feature of the week. So that's where you guys come in, the listeners. So basically every episode, every week, we're gonna have a fit of the week. Basically anyone who tags us or uses the hashtag KicksattheCastle, we're gonna choose our favorite one and basically feature it through the podcast. So yeah, guys, I guess get tagging so we can choose our favorite fits and show us what you got. Show us the heat.
Yeah, in the parks or out
on
right?
your feet. Yeah, in the parks. I guess. Yeah, I guess it doesn't. I guess it does kind of matter. Yeah, keep it kind of Disney. It is Kicks at the Castle. We only feature Disney related fits or kicks. So
exactly. All right. So a regular feature we're going to have is World versus Land, and so what we're going to do is throw out a topic. Since I am West Coast and Matt and Irv are East Coast, we're going to see who's got the best setup, and we're going to start out with reservation systems today. We're going to see who's got the better system. Obviously you guys have been up and running for what, 8 months, 9 months, where we just kicked off a couple weeks ago. So Matt, why don't you or Irv, it's your turn. Why don't you tell us how does it go? What's your experience with the reservation system, and is it the same as it started, or has it evolved, or is it been the same the whole way through?
I guess I would say it's the same. I would say that it has gotten harder to get reservations, but I guess that's just, with more people getting vaccinated and getting more comfortable with traveling, it kind of like fills up faster. But like when it first opened up, it was a breeze, no trouble at all. I think I went to Magic Kingdom like the first 3 days with like no issues at all. And even now the system itself isn't bad, but it is kind of hard. It's harder to get a day you want.
So how's that work? What are you guys at capacity wise now?
I think it's still 25%.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
To
be honest, I haven't really been paying attention. I mean, it definitely does feel like what I do is I check the app and see how long the wait times are. That kind of gives me a good idea.
Okay.
If it's busy or not that day.
Oh. Well, out here, they just opened it up 2 weeks ago. And what they did is they gave people who had existing park tickets that they hadn't used a couple day head start. And then they opened it up to ticket sales. And they made it available. Sorry, it starts April 30th is the first day the park's open. So they had that date and then May and June. And they basically opened it up and there's only 2 months available. And so I got online probably 7:30 and in the morning, and I was able to purchase my tickets and make my reservations around 5:00 that night. So it was a long, frustrating day. You know, I'm checking Instagram and I'm seeing all these people got my tickets. I'm locked in. Now I will say that I got the exact dates I wanted. I think the only day that was probably sold out when I got in 10 hours later was, I think it was the actual opening day. And I think that California Adventure was still available. It was just Disneyland that blocked out. So I got three different reservations. I'm happy with the dates I got. You know, there's no complaints that way. But it's going to happen again because right now, I actually checked the calendar today, and in the month of May, Disneyland's only available 3 days, and it's like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Completely booked. And then I think the only weekend, I think there's 2 Sundays available for Disneyland in June. And like I said, there's nothing in July. So what's going to happen is they're going to all of a sudden open July, and it's going to be probably just a big mass of people trying to get tickets in July.
Yeah.
Which fortunately I'll be in Disney World in July, so I won't have to be in that game. But
I guess what's different too is for us, like the annual pass holders, and basically for those guests who had tickets, they already have all their tickets. Like, I guess what's different in Disneyland is that you guys had to start all over again because you had to repurchase tickets. So that was like a longer process. So I guess it was kind of easier for us in the sense because most of us already had our passes.
We didn't have
and all that.
So what they did is they kept our money, you know, or they gave us the option of you know, getting a refund, and I didn't take that option. And I want to say that maybe it was February. They just sent you the money. They no longer gave the option of keeping your annual pass. And where I'm at right now is it was fairly expensive. I bought a 2-day park hopper for my wife and I to hit a weekend around my birthday, and then I bought 4 single-day park hoppers for the fam to go check out Avengers Campus when it opens, and that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking at is, you know, and I've got an 8-day Disney World trip in July. So I probably won't do anything Disneyland until, I would think, the Halloween party, if they have one. I mean, you know, even if they don't have one, we'll go for the season. My wife likes that time of year, like the park decorations. But I'm hoping by September they'll come up with an annual pass program that can get me going more often. You know, just so you know, I'm in San Diego. It's about a 90-minute drive for me to go to Disneyland. I typically go twice a month. Usually on the weekends, and it's just kind of that's why I got the Weekends with Walt name. But that's kind of how I like to do Disney is go do a half day, and you know, at the prices they've got right now, my typical visiting style, it's not really conducive for that. Because to throw down the money for I tell you a weekend park hopper ticket, I think is $209. You know, they've got some cheap for one day. Park hopper is $209.
Holy,
that's wild.
Yeah.
I think Disney, one park hopper day is like $160. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
So now, Irv, you've got an annual pass right now, right? So you're
Yes.
good to go.
Yeah. We got annual passes back when we lived in Atlanta. We had made like a couple of trips, and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna do it. So we bought passes then, and then when we moved down to Central Florida, we got the Florida pack. Then we got like the gold ones, so we blacked out a little bit. But outside of that, I like it. You know.
Nice.
But it always seems like right around Christmas time, we like, oh man, we blacked out for 2 weeks, and that's when you want to go the most. But outside of that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. How far are you from the parks right now?
25 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad, man. It's my kids are like super spoiled by it because it's like, you know, just like, oh, let's go to Disney World. And I'm like, bro, people don't say that. You know what I mean? It's not an average thing to just say, like, let's go to Disney World today.
Well, that's nice though, man. Matt, how often are you going?
I go like once a week now, just because of my work schedule. But yeah, I'm like really close, like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes if I'm lucky,
cool.
Depending on traffic. Yeah, put it this way. So like I stayed at the cabins last week and with my dog, and we didn't want like our dog, like, because my dog's not very good with like people yet. And we didn't want like housekeeping to come in when my dog's there. So every time that we went out, I just dropped my dog off at my house. And then when we came back from the parks, we just picked him up. That's like that's how close we were.
That's what's up though.
Yeah.
That's actually a good transition. Let's get into Disney trips, because you had a birthday trip last week, right?
Yep.
So how'd that go? You said you stayed at the cabin?
It was amazing. That was like, because usually when I do like, I guess when I stay at like a Disney resort, I usually stay for like 1 or 2 nights. And this was like the first time where I actually stayed for like 3 nights. And that was like really nice to actually stay at the resort and actually do like resort things and not going to the park like every day and going back to the resort. Like
resort things.
I went horseback riding.
How was that?
Yeah. Like,
wait, are you an experienced
just like
rider?
explore the resort?
Yeah. Are you an experienced horseback
No,
rider?
that was my very first time. No, that was my very first time on a horse. I told my girlfriend, I was like, I've never been on a horse before. And next thing you know, she booked horseback riding.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So shout out to my girlfriend for that. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Any good meals?
What did I eat? I totally forgot what I ate.
Disney's.
I just had like fried chicken at the resort at P&J's, I think it's called. And then one of the nights we went to Epcot and did Flower and Garden.
Oh, nice.
Which was pretty good. The corn on the cob was really good, but nothing crazy. I made s'mores. Nah, man, I don't really drink anymore. Let's just say, like, back in my college days, I basically messed up my liver. And like last year, I kind of had like a liver scare.
Oh wow.
And yeah, like ever since then, like I just stopped drinking. Like, it's been like well over a year since I had a sip of alcohol.
Oh.
No, man, that's understandable though.
Yeah, like it freaked me out. Like I don't want like liver failure. So
no, man, you're a young man. You got to take care of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all right. I'll drink the beer for you.
Yeah, me too. I'm down.
Irv, what about you, man? You been at the parks lately?
Yeah, we went to Magic Kingdom a couple of days ago. Actually, it was what's today? Monday. I guess it was Saturday, Friday or Saturday, because I was thinking the People Mover was going to be open, and it just opened up, and we missed it. We was going to go. Yeah, it opened up yesterday, so I was like, oh man, we were going to go today, but we couldn't get reservations for Magic Kingdom. But before then, our anniversary was on the 10th, and we stayed at Swan and Dolphin. Well, we stayed at the Swan.
Oh, okay.
And that was nice. That's a real nice hotel. We went to the
Never
Dolphin
stayed
and we
there.
had drinks. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And it's a close walk. We walked to Epcot and it started raining. I had on my Air Max pre-days and I
Okay.
scuffed them up the first night I wore them. So there you go, wearing your sneakers.
What time did you did you try making the reservation during the day on that same day, or
We tried yesterday. When I saw that it was open, we tried to like reserve Magic Kingdom yesterday for today.
Oh, okay. So what I've been seeing is that like after 2 is when more, I don't know if this is true or not, but what I've been seeing is that more reservations open up, because I always forget about park hopping too. Just the whole reservations kind of throw me off, but like I always forget that you can park hop. So like after 2, you can go to another park. So it's like
So
after 2, I see that more.
you can get.
Basically, yeah. So like that day, just take whatever reservation you can get, and then after 2, you can go to a different park. But you have to go to that first park first.
Yeah.
But what I've been seeing is that after 2, more park reservations open up. So if you haven't made a park reservation that day, just try after 2, and so you can get in after that.
Nice.
Yeah, I get a track because we typically don't go until like late evening, afternoon, and the hotter it is, the later we go.
Yeah.
So now we probably won't even leave the house till like 5:30 because it's like burning up outside.
So when you went for the anniversary, did you take the kids? They go to Swan and Dolphin too, or you?
Oh no, sir.
You dropped
They
them
did
off?
not. Yes, they did not come at all. And it's crazy because we really rarely take any trips without them. You know what I mean? We're really like family oriented, and we want them to like experience a lot of stuff we did. So before we went by ourselves, we actually went a week before so they could go.
Okay.
So we did a night with them, and then they got to do the hotel and go to the pool, and then on our anniversary we went without them.
All right. But they went with you when you went last, what, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah. They went with us to Magic Kingdom, and what did we do?
I was gonna say, are they about the rides? Is that what you
That's all they want to do is the rides. And it's crazy because I'm a real entertainment guy. So like, you know, especially if they don't have any shows, no performances, that's like the main thing. Like I would sit on Main Street and watch like just the shows all day. That would be cool to me. But my kids are ride addicts. So, and they attractions, like what attractions are we going to ride today, Daddy? So Carter make a list. And then we'll try to like hit all of those before everybody either get like too tired or too hungry. And then, you know, we'll call it a night.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how I was when I was younger.
Absolutely.
Shoot, I still am. Anything. Rides, shows. Well, I'll do it all.
I like it all too. And I can tell you what, though, my last trip was a couple weeks ago. I went to Touch of Disney and there were no rides. So that is the first time I ever went to the parks, and just I found myself a nice table across from the Pixar Death Wheel, and I just kind of posted up. And I don't know that I've ever gone to California Adventure and had more than like 2 beers. And we sat at that. My wife and I sat at the table with my daughter, and I think we had 5 beers because there wasn't really anything to do. So it was a really weird sensation.
Drink all day.
But we just sat there and just people watched, and it was actually a lot of fun. It was just it was a different Disney day. But man, it was I'm glad the parks are opening, because I definitely would not do another Touch of Disney if that's what we had. You know, going forward, I wouldn't continue to go. I didn't feel like it was really worth the money. But you know, it was nice. I'm glad they opened it. You know, that's the thing, is that out here, Knott's Berry Farm has been doing those type of food events for probably 6 months. And you know, like we've been hard up our entertainment, so we've been going, and they do a nice job. But I mean, Knott's Berry Farm is definitely not the same. Yeah.
I've never been, but I heard their food and wine festival, or whatever their food festival is great. Because I mean, obviously Knott's is a food company, right?
Yeah, and they do a really good job. They theme it though. So like the last one was like the Boysenberry Festival. So everything had, you know, boysenberry jam of some kind. but they'll do like a boysenberry sangria, and they'll have different ciders, desserts, and so they give pretty generous portions. But I mean, it's like cafeteria food. It's not like, it's not the cuisine at the Touch of Disney event was, way nicer, but it was also much smaller portions. So, and the other thing is that Disney wouldn't let you use the food coupon or the gift card that you got with your purchase for alcohol. So if you were going to get like a slider and a beer, you'd have to do 2 separate purchases. So it was kind of a pain in the butt. Like I said, I was glad that they did something, because it was fun to be in the parks. And like I said, it doesn't matter what it was. And that was so for that trip, I had bought the Mocha Jordan 1s, and that was the undesing of those shoes. So that was a fun trip for me to, like I said, to get a good wear in on those shoes. And that was the undes day, was at the Touch of Disney event.
Yeah, I need me a pair of Mochas. Honestly, I was like the other day, or like on my birthday, like I was so tempted to just like treat myself, like on either the Hyper Royals, the Mochas, or like the universities.
Right.
But I was so close, but I was like, wait, Hyper Royals got delayed. I might just wait till more men's fairs come out, and if not,
a little more supply.
I may have to bite that bullet.
Yeah. I tell you what, I was pretty salty. I was pretty salty about not getting the Mochas, and I've been pining over them for a while. And finally, my wife just said, "Just get them." And I'm like, "All right, don't have to tell me twice."
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one I'm looking at, I really would like to get the Origin Story ones for the opening of Avengers Campus, but I just cannot make myself spend that kind of money. Those are ridiculous price right now.
How much are they going for?
In my size on StockX is 700.
It's crazy because they were going for almost retail like a month after they dropped.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about getting a pair, because I mean it's like close to like a Chicago one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I was just like, nah. But then should have just done it. Just kept it on ice and then just resold.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it's hard to predict those things. So
all right. So in lieu of the normal discussion, I figured since this is the first episode, I figured we'd go around and maybe we'd give a little talk about our Disney style. We've been talking a little bit about it, but Matt, why don't you kind of introduce yourself? Well, what got you into Disney, and how you got to be the Disney hype beast.
How I got to be a Disney hype beast. So yeah, I guess I started going to Disney ever since I was like 3. Like my dad, he were at the time, or when I was younger, he was a cast member, and he would always just get us into the parks like all the time. And ever since then, like I've been going, like every year I would go to Disney like once or twice a year. Amazing, like it never gets old. But how I became a hype beast, I'm not sure. I guess like just after I bought like a pair of, or after I won like a pair of the Easy 350 Pirate Blacks, after I bought my like first Supreme shirt, it was kind of history right there. And then next thing you know, I kind of like put the 2 things I love together, Disney and streetwear, and started becoming the Disney hype beast.
How about you, Irv? What's your Disney story?
Well, I didn't start going to Disney until, man, I want to say I was 30 years old.
Really?
So yeah, like I'll be 36 in August. So yeah, about 6 years ago was my first time ever going to Disney. We didn't really do vacation like that growing up. We went to we'll go back to Miami, something like that. But my wife, they went a lot growing up, and then she had a friend that she went to school with that was a cast member. She was like, y'all really should come down here. Y'all should bring the family. We went down. It was like the middle of July, so it's like 1,000 degrees outside. And honestly, that day was like the worst day ever. I didn't know how to get around. I didn't know anything about food. The babies were all irritated, but that night was like the most magical night ever. And I remember like watching the parades and then watching the castle show and then looking at my kids, looking at my wife, and I was like, oh man, like I understand now. I definitely understand. I definitely get it.
I'm about to get an annual pass right now.
Hey, I think we came back. We lived in Atlanta then. I think we came back and actually bought tickets like a month later. Then we ended up getting annual passes maybe like 6 months after that. Then we moved down here like 2 years after that.
Then did you move just to get closer to Disney World or the work?
Oh yeah, that was my plan.
Oh, wow.
I maybe like 6 months before I wanted to do that, I started putting out applications. I did a few interviews. I would, fly back and forth and like, yeah, I made a plan. Like, all right, man, we're gonna do this, and I kind of like did it to where we kind of live around it.
You're hardcore.
Yeah, man. That my wife said I have like an issue about that. And I guess how it is about shoes. And when I kind of get something I like, I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna do this all the time. So yeah, and that's kind of how I am about shoes. Growing up, my older sister Toya, she used to wear Air Max all the time, and she had a job. And I'm like, dang, she bought these shoes. So I started buying them, and then when I had the chance to like really buy them, I started going back and buying all the shoes that she would buy that I couldn't get. So now I just have a humongous Air Max collection for no reason, but I like them. I like them, man. And I think my favorite shoe is probably the Air Max one, but I like 95s also.
All right. So you're like you said, you're not much of a Jordan guy. It's just the Air Maxes. That's your
just the Air Maxes. I want a pair of Jordan 3s, and if I can get some that's not like outrageous, I kind of want the Tinkers since they kind of like have the Air Max mode to it. Wow. It kind of like a little more my style, but I don't know, man. Maybe for Father's Day, I'll just buy them and treat myself.
There you go. My whole life.
I felt like I left out.
Oh, okay.
Because back in high school was like where my, I guess, sneaker addiction came about.
Oh, where you at, Matt? Irv, can you hear Matt? Oh man, you guys there?
One thing I did leave out is, I guess, how I started my sneaker venture, whatever you want to call it. Like back in high school, I used to skateboard, and I was addicted to like skate shoes. And then I guess I kind of ventured into Nike SBs, and my very first pair, 2 pairs, because they dropped at the same time, were the Guns N' Roses Dunk Lows and the Dr. Feelgood Dunk Highs. Those were my very 2 first SBs. And ever since then, like almost like every month, there's a skate shop called Covert Skate Shop. And every month I would go there and buy whatever new SBs that came out that month. And it was so easy to get because like there was like no line, like the SB hype wasn't that crazy. I mean, it was kind of crazy, but like you can literally walk in at any time and pretty much.
No raffles?
Yeah, no raffles or anything. Just walk in and just get whatever size that they had.
You save any of those old ones?
Nah, man. So when I graduate high school, I still had them, but in college, like I guess the SB hype kind of died, and I was huge partier, so I needed money to drink. So I basically sold my whole collection. I probably had like as much as I have right now, maybe like 40 pairs of SBs, mostly gold boxes. And then, yeah, I sold them for like maybe like, I think it was like $500. Bruh. And now I probably had like a few grand now. But I mean, yeah, it's hard to predict those stuff.
Yeah.
Like Travis Scott, I guess. But yeah, like when I graduated college, I guess that was when I started going back into sneakers, and that was when I entered my first raffle with the Yeezy, the 350 Pirate Blacks. I think it was when they came out the second time. I entered a raffle at Champs, and then that was when I guess Hype Beast era started, when I got the Pirate Blacks. Yeah, what about you? How did you get started?
Man, for Disney, I went quite a bit as a kid, not a ton, but when my wife and I started dating, she really liked it, so we went a bunch. And it was one of those things that once we had kids, we started getting the annual passes, and it's kind of Irv's story. The kids really enjoyed going, and seeing Disney through kids' eyes is really fun. And then they kind of get that age where sports takes over, and I spent quite a bit of time and weekends, being a baseball and football coach, watching my daughter do cheer and dance, and just seems like we were on the go constantly. And then all of a sudden, daughter's graduated from high school, son's a senior, and team sports are done, and like wife and I look at ourselves and we're like, well, maybe, what are we going to do with our time? So we got the annual passes again, and started going to Disney, and now and we've really enjoyed it. It's one of those things that I know I'm a little bit older than most of the Disney people, but I enjoy the heck out of it. I like I enjoy all the rides. I'm a big roller coaster guy. My wife could care less about those kind of rides. She's more of a Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean kind of person. So I'm the single rider on the on the roller coasters. But, and as far as shoes, my son's the one that got me back into shoes, and I've only been collecting, I think since like 2017. I was around when the Jordans came around the first time, and I had a lot of the OGs, but I took a good 20 years off of shoes. So, and you know what, I can tell you that just in the short time I've been in the shoe game, it's almost not fun anymore, it's just so much harder to get the shoes, and the prices are crazy just in the last 4 years. It's like, now it's like, it's almost not fun. And I can tell you that I really like the ones, and I'd like to get more ones, but when they keep inventing new colors, I'd like to see some of the OGs come back. I mean, I did.
Please.
I did get
OGs all the way.
Yeah, I did get the natural gray 85s, but I had to pay resale for them. Like I wasn't able to get them at retail. And I'm looking at some of the drops that are coming up, and they're okay, but for as hard as it is to get them, I just don't even know if I care. It's just like they've really changed it. And I mean, now that sneakers everything's a draw, is kind of a bummer. I always felt like I had a chance when it was a drop, but now when the raffles they seem like they're so hard to get. But what are you going to do?
It's kind of, I mean, yeah, like sneakers is, I mean, like waiting for sneakers is kind of similar to how we wait for, I guess, like Disney and stuff, like the lines or even like reservations.
Yeah.
Like how long did you say you waited?
Well, I waited
for the new
I waited 10 hours to get my tickets.
Bruh.
10 hours?
10 hours.
Overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a full work day.
Well, I was working, I mean, fortunately I work from home. I just, I have a browser open on my computer. I have 3 monitors. So, the browser's just sitting on one of the monitors, but it's actually very reminiscent of like the way the Yeezy drops used to go on Adidas, where you'd get on the website and you could sit in the waiting room for 4 or 5 hours trying to get a pair of Yeezys. I mean, that was what, 2 or 3 years ago. That was the system, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the difference is you'd end the day with an L on that, and at least I got a W on my
Yeah, I think the longest, I mean, online is I probably waited a couple hours maybe. Like usually, yeah, like online drops, if I don't get it like after a couple hours, then I usually give up. But in person, like when Trophy Room used to be here, like they used to have like in store, like first come first serve and raffles. Like you would have to get there at like 5 a.m, and you would have to get like a raffle ticket. and then like maybe like an hour or so before the store opened, which I think was like 9, they would do a raffle, and that's how you get your spot in line. And then I think one time, I think it was for the flu games, the flu game 12s. I was second in line. They picked my ticket second, and so yeah, I think it was roughly 4, and then by the time I checked out, it was like I would say like 4.5 hours probably. But that's probably the longest I waited for sneakers. Now Disney wise though, I would say
Like
probably
what about like a
was
ride
like,
queue? What's the longest you waited in a ride queue?
flight of passage for sure. It was probably when they first opened. My cousin just flew in town, and as soon as he got off the plane, we went straight to Animal Kingdom, and yeah, it was probably 3-4 hours.
I believe it.
For flight of passage.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the
it was
worst
worth
for
it.
me.
I'll never wait for that ride longer than an hour.
Yeah.
But
I think Cars Land out here, the Radiator Springs Racer might be the longest one I waited in. I think we probably waited 2.5, 3 hours to get on that when it first opened. And nowadays my Disney schedule is what's the short line? That's the one I'm gonna go get in.
Yeah.
That way I can get more in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my girlfriend has DAS, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. What about Irv? What's the longest you waited for, I guess, anything Disney or sneakers?
Man, sneakers, I'm kind of like you. If I don't get it within like the first couple hours, I pretty much chalk up and take my L. Now I think I waited like 7 hours for some Hamilton tickets. I waited a long time for that, man.
Nice.
That's in New York. Like in New York?
No, when it came here. It came down to Orlando, and it was my wife's birthday.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I was like, man, all right, I'm gonna get this. And I got on that thing at like, man, I think it was like 7 that morning, and I was in the office at work, and it was like 4. And then I ended up having to get, nothing was left but VIP tickets. So I paid like way more than I wanted to pay. And
yeah, happy wife, happy life,
Yeah, I mean, she was happy. I mean, to this day, she says, don't tell her how much I paid for the ticket. So she doesn't even know. It's yeah. But ride wise, I think I waited like 2.5 hours for Mine Train one time because like Carter was going to ride it and he wasn't going to let it go unless we rode it. So
no.
Yeah, I stood in line and we rode it. We stood 2.5 hours to ride a ride for like 90 seconds, and that was
the first time. Like obviously, like a new ride is opening. Like waiting that long, I think it's fine. But yeah, like if you're gonna do it again, I couldn't do it again. Waiting that long.
Nah, I mean now we're to the point where my younger kids, the stuff they want to ride is really not that long. And Carter, if he wants to wait, like, bro, you can do it. You can do it by yourself. I'm not, I'm not waiting in line.
Well, didn't they say like Matt? Did you go to Hagrid's when it opened? Wasn't that a crazy wait for?
Oh yeah, that was. Because they opened, I think around like 8 or 9. So I mean, like getting there, like we got there at like 5 a.m. But I mean, to Universal. But once Wizarding World opened, like we were on the ride within like 15-20 minutes because we were one of the first people there. But it was waiting for the park to open was the longest. So it was like 5 to whatever time that the park opened. Could have been like 8 or 9. Maybe it was 9. So yeah, I guess I did wait like 4 hours for that one too.
Nice. All right. Well,
but it's crazy, I guess. Oh,
go ahead.
I guess it's crazy how like similar, like Disney and then like sneakers, like even like Disney has like I think it's called the merch pass, which is kind of similar to sneakers too.
Yeah, I've tried for a few of those and have never gotten one. They seem to be fairly elusive as well.
Dang, like Disney passing out L's too to everybody. Next thing you know, people are going to be botting the
Probably. Well, I
Disneyland
know
app and My Disney Experience.
Yeah, well, there's a resale market for all that Disney stuff on eBay too. I see.
Yeah, they're on Stockx.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, like the Disney ears, the Disney keys. I want to say I forgot what they're called, the mini plush or even the Mickey plushes too.
Oh yeah.
Those are on Stockx.
That's wild.
Like, could you imagine like what the authentication process is at StockX? Like, oh, I got a mini ear. It might be a little bit too tight, or I don't know. This one seems kind of fake.
Yeah, where are they training those guys at?
The sequence is kind of off.
Looks like a bedazzler. So anyway, all right, man. I think this is a good point to cut it off, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. Matt, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you out on your socials?
Yeah, don't forget to follow me at the Disney Hypebeast. Also, if you guys need shoes, follow me at TDHB Shop. Don't forget to tag us in at KicksattheCastle or hashtag KicksattheCastle to be featured weekly. We need that first fit of the week.
Nice, absolutely.
And oh yeah, Herb, tell them about Kicks in the Wild.
Kicks in the Wild. Oh yeah. So again, my Instagram is Main Street Dad, and like Matt was saying, we're gonna do this thing called Kicks in the Wild. I go to the parks pretty frequently, so I'm going to be looking for, people who got on some fresh kicks, nice shoes. We'll get a pic, and it's another way for you to get on the Instagram and be a part of the Kicks at the Castle family.
Very nice. And
I'll be doing that too. I'll be in the parks too. So
exactly. And when I get in the parks, I'll be trying that as well. And again, I'm John. You can find me Weekends at Walt on Instagram. And thanks again for listening. And hope to hear any feedback and let us know your experience with the reservation system. And have a good one.